Check one.
प्रेम सुषमापति महादेव की जय, वृंदावन में हरिलाल की जय. Let us all stand, my dear friends, as we begin this beautiful night in devotion, where this time we are about to join in beautiful arti to our Lord Bhagwan Shankar, Lord Shiva. Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Shri Saraswati Namaha. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namo Namaha. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Brahma Vishnu Sada Shiva Ardange Dhara. Brahma Vishnu Sada Shiva Ardange Dhara. Jai Shiva Om Kara Har Shiva Om Kara. Jai Shiva Om Kara Har Shiva Om Kara. Jai Shiva Om Kara Baba Har Shiva Om Kara. Jai Shiva Om Kara Baba Har Shiva Om Kara. Har Har Mahadev. Ekanana Chaturana Pancha Nararaje. हर 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 महादेव, 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 महादेव 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 हर हर जय शंकर ओम हर 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 जय शंकर ओम हर हर। श्री वृंदावन में हरि लाल की जय। आस लीजिए सब लोग, let us all take our seats. On behalf of this wonderful Rampersad family, we take this golden opportunity to welcome each and everyone on this beautiful night, this divine night of worship to the divine Lord, Bhagwan Shankar Bholinath. In our 5 nights of Maha Gyaan Yajna, for the past 2 nights, on the first night we will have joined in our Katha taken from the Sri Hanuman Charitramanas. Last night we joined in our message taken from the golden pages of Mahabharata. And tonight we touch the feet of Shankar Mahadeva, Lord Mahadev. As we begin this night with worship to Lord Shiva, Lord Shiva is known to be the embodiment of peace. It is said no matter how much wealth you have in the world, no matter how much money, no matter how much of the materialistic things of the world that we have and we possess, at the end of the day, if you don't have a peace of mind, then you have nothing at all. We begin this night with worship to our Lord. He is called Sham Mangalam Karoti Iti Shiva. Lord Shiva in itself, the embodiment of auspiciousness and peace. And as we begin this night, on behalf of this wonderful family, to Bhaiji Pandit Randi Bhaiya once more, it's a blessing on this 3rd night to be once more in your company as we've invoked the energy of all the devatas on the beautiful nights of prayer. To the members of the Celestial Gandharvas, members of my wonderful group, to all other Pandits, to all the other sadhus who are here, we say Swagatam, Namaskar. To the devotees of the various mandirs who've come to join with us tonight, once more special and a cordial welcome to you all. I see my Bhaiji Jai and his entire family. Special welcome, Bhaiya, all the way from Rio Claro. And to all devotees who sacrificed your time, your efforts, your energy to be here, special welcome once more. To all those who tuned in via Facebook, to all those who are locked on YouTube, to those who have taken this moment to sit and to listen across the world, we say welcome, Swagatam, Namaskar. Without further ado, at this time, let us all sit up right now. Let us close our eyes and let us forget the entire world. And we say, Lord, आपको बारंबार प्रणाम नमस्कार करता हूँ प्रभु. As we, your humble servants, sit tonight to glorify your name ardently, with love, with prayer, with dedication, with humility and respect, we join in Omkara 3 times. महाकाय सूर्यकोटि समप्रभा निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देवा सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा या देवी सर्वभूतेषु दुर्गारूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः या देवी सर्वभूतेषु लक्ष्मीरूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै Namastasya namo namah. Ya Devi Sarvabhuteshu Saraswati Rupena Samstita. Namastasya, namastasya, namastasya namo namah. Namastasya, namastasya, namastasya namo namah. Nagendraharaya Trilochanaya Asmangaragaya Maheshwaraya Nityaya Shuddhaya Digambaraya Tasmai Nakaraya Namah Shivaya Tasmai Nakaraya Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Mano Bodhyahankara Chittarninaham Nacha Shrohaje Hue Nacha Grananetam Nacha Vyoma Bhumirnam Tejo Navayo Chidanandaru Shivoham Chidanandarupaha Shivoham Shivoham Chidanandarupaha Shivoham Shivoham Nacha prana sangyona Vai panchavayu Nava saptadaturna va panchakosham Nava panipadam chopastapayo Chidanandarupa Shivoham Shivoham Chidanandarupa Shivoham Shivoham Na punyam na papam Na saukyam na dukham Na mantro na tirtam Na veda na yagya Aham bhojanam neva Bhojam na bhoktva Chidanandarupaha Shivoham Shivoham Chidanandarupaha Shivoham Shivoham. We praise Lord Shiva on this beautiful night. Being the father of the entire cosmos, as a child, humbly we pay salutations and adorations to Mahadev. For as we prostrate to Lord Shiva, he is known to be the destroyer of all negative energies. And as humble bhaktas, as we pray, Lord, tonight on this divine and auspicious one, we have forgotten our traits, our attitudes, our character, and our very being. And we have dedicated our entire soul in your name and in your glory. So tonight we will chant Panchakshara mantra Om Namaha शिवाय। शिव का नाम भजले रे मनवा, शिव का नाम भजले, शिव का नाम भजले रे मनवा, शिव का नाम भजले, भजले रे मनवा, शिव का नाम भजले, शिव का नाम भजले रे मनवा, शिव का नाम भजले, शिव का नाम भजले रे मनवा, शिव का नाम भजले। चरण शरण में आई के भरते हारा ध्यान, कष्टों से रक्षा करो, कष्टों से रक्षा करो, पावन पुत्र हनुमान, हाथ जोड़ विनती करो, सुनो वीर हनुमान, संकट से रक्षा करो, संकट से रक्षा करो, पावन पुत्र हनुमान, हे अंजनी के लाल। We worship the 11th form tonight, and we join in our beautiful 40 verses of the Shri Hanuman Chalisa. श्री गुरु चरण सरोज रज निज मन मुकुर सुधार, वर्ण रघुवर विमल जसु जो दायक फलचार, बुद्धिहीन तनु जानिके सुमिरा पवन कुमार, बल बुद्धि विद्या देहु मोहि हरौ कलेश विकार। आंजनेय हनुमान जय वीर हनुमान, आंजनेय हनुमान जय वीर हनुमान, जय वीर हनुमान, आंजनेय हनुमान, जय वीर हनुमान, आंजनेय हनुमान। All together, पावन सुत हनुमान की, बजरंग बली की, जय वीर हनुमान, आंजनेय हनुमान। We sing tonight. जय वीर हनुमान, आंजनेय हनुमान, जय वीर हनुमान, आंजनेय, जय वीर हनुमान, आंजनेय हनुमान, 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 जय वीर हनुमान, आंजनेय, जय हनुमान ज्ञान गुण सागर, जय कपीश तिहु लोक उजागर, रामदूत तुलित बलधामा, अंजनी पुत्र पवन सुत नामा, अंजलिया। ओम श्री हनुमते नमः। जीवन लखन जियाए श्री रघुवीर हर सिर लाए रघुपति के ने बहुत कराए तुम मम प्रिय भरत समभाए सहस वदन तुम रोज सराय अस कै श्रीपति कंठ लगाए सर्गाधिक ब्रह्मादि मुनीषा नारद शारद सहित ही सायं कुबेर दिगपाल जहाते गोविद कैसा सुग्रीव ही गेना हम मिलाय राज पर देना जय हनुमान जय हनुमान जय हनुमान जय हनुमान जय हनुमान जय हनुमान बोलो जय बजरंग बली। मधुर पल जानो प्रभो मोद कामिल कमाई दर्द लांग गए असर जनाई दुर्गमता जगत के देते सुगम अनुग्रह तुम्हारे देते राम द्वारे तुम रखवार हो तना गया तुम पैसारे तब कला है तुम्हारी शरणा तुम रक्षक का हो को डरना आपन से समारो to Lord Hanuman. सब पीरा जपत निरंतर हनुमत वीरा संकट ते हनुमान चुरावे मन क्रम वचन ध्यान जो लावे सब पर राम तपस्वी राजा इनके काज सकल तुम साजा और मनोरथ जो कोई लावे सोई अमित जीवन फल पावे चारों युग परताप तुम्हार है प्रसिद्ध जगत उजियारा साधु संत के तुम रखवार असुर निकंदन राम दुलारे अष्ट सिद्धि नवनिधि के दाता असवर दीन जान के माता राम रसायन तुम्हारे पासा सरर हो रघुपति के दाता हरे राम हनुमान जय हनुमान जय हनुमान जय हनुमान जय हनुमान जय हनुमान जय हनुमान तुम्हारे भजन राम को पावे जन्म जन्म के दुख बिसरावे अंत काल रघुबरपुर जाए जहाँ जन्म हरि भक्त कहाए और देवता चित्तन धरई हनुमत से सर्व सुख करे संकट कटे मिटे सब पीरा जो लक्ष्मण सीता सहित हृदय बसो सुरभो पवन सुत हनुमान की बजरंगबली की जय. On this beautiful night, my dear friends, as we take this golden opportunity to worship our Lord, we are about to praise none other than Bhagwan Shankar Bholenath, Lord Shiva. For today, we dive into the golden pages of the Shiva Sutra, as well as Mahashiva Puran, where we worship our Lord for His most powerful forms and manifestations. We have now chanted the 40 verses of the Gyara Avatar, or the 11th form of Lord Shiva. We just worshipped Lord Hanumanji. As you're about to dive in our beautiful scripture, it is said many of the gods of the skies. Last night we spoke of one god in particular who had to be humbled. We spoke about the fire god, Lord Agni. In our beautiful message tonight, Agni also plays a role. We spoke about Varun Devata last night. Today, Varuna, the god of water, he plays a role. Because Varun Devata, the god of water, he was invoked by Lord Agni, and in turn, he created gifts. He brought gifts from the skies and from the ocean, and he gave it to Arjuna and Bhagavan Krishna last night. Do you all remember what gifts were given? Remember, they had to defeat Lord Indra, the god of the skies, the Lord of rain. And it is said, with the two individuals, Lord Krishna, he was given a Sudarshan Chakra. And Arjuna, he was given something else. He was given a chariot. And at the top of that chariot, there was a flag. And who stood at the top of the flag? Mahavir Swami. Our beautiful message today, Lord Indra, along with some of the gods of the skies, and alongside with the Guru of the universe who's called Guru Brihaspati, they've decided that it is time in their life that they seek the blessings of Mahadev, Lord Shiva. So they're about to climb a beautiful Parvat and they're about to go to Kailash Parvat. Tonight we will transform this entire place into Kailash Parvat with our energy, our strength, and the blessings of Lord Shiva. It is said while they will climb the beautiful Parvat, they're going on the path to meet Mahadev. On the path to God will never be an easy one. On the path to prayer will never be an easy one. On the path in which devotees will want to pray, it will never be an easy one. When people want to pray, there will always be people who will try to stop you. When people want to do a yajna, there will be many people who will come and say, "Boy, we're doing, boy. Why don't you just do a puja and done?" When there are people who want to do a puja in a home, there will be fights in that house because there will be people who are trying to stop you. Why are you doing all these prayers for? Just do a havan. And then when you try to do a havan, there are people who will come in your life and they will say, "Why do you just like that here?" And then before you know it, you realize that you're hardly even praying. What is life without prayer? What is the body that we have without prayer? This body is the instrument to pray with. And if we cannot pray, then what is this body? And what is our life? And what is the meaning of existence? While these gods are about to climb up Kailash Parvat, Lord Shiva sits on his beautiful throne and he looks down right at the top of the mountain. And he sees these gods coming up. And he says, "You know what? I am unlike any other god. Lord Shiva is unlike any other god." I will just ask randomly in a few moments. When you worship Lord Krishna blows the basuri and he charms the heart of every devotee. He's easygoing. Lord Krishna says, "Just come to me with anything. Patram pushpam palam toyam yome bhakti priyachate." If you don't have any parasad and you bring one drop of water, I will take it. He is easygoing. When you worship Adi Shakti Durga Devi as a mother, she says, "Child, don't worry, a mother will provide." When you worship the different deities, they will bless you accordingly. But when you worship Lord Shiva, he means business. He says, "When you worship me, I will test you again and again and again to make sure." Tonight, to the devotees who would have sacrificed running away from your job or locking up early or just trying to be here, it didn't happen by guess. Lord Shiva will test you to be here tonight. To those who are here, it didn't just happen. He wants you to be here. How we say it in many other religions, many are called and few are chosen. Now, any other night is okay, but Lord Shiva night, he chooses you to be here. You didn't come by guess. Lord Shiva, according to Shiva Sutra, Sham Mangalam Karoti Iti Shiva. Whenever Lord Shiva sits there, that spot becomes auspicious. Mangalam Karoti. And to those who are here, I'll tell you, it's not just an ordinary night. It is a packed night filled with energy of Mahadev because he has chosen you to be here. He will put obstacles on your path. How many people had a fight today before you got here? How many people, while preparing to get here, probably in a job, you had an argument with a co-worker, or maybe somebody, or maybe your boss, or maybe in your home, you had a fight, and probably you're hustling to come on time, and everybody's saying, "You know what, just leave it, I'm not going nowhere." How many people in your daily life are having arguments for many different things, but especially today you want to come yagya, so somebody's provoking you, or somebody's holding you back. Or maybe even to the people, I got messages even to the people who want to tune in. Some people are saying, I'm trying to run out of work to tune in all the way from New York and I can't even get away. The boss just bringing more and more work. People are trying to tap into the energy of God. And especially tonight, the night of Lord Shiva, He will test you. Lord Shiva is about to test even the gods because He is Mahadev. And He's about to test them. What will He do? We join in a chant to Mahadev and then we join in our scripture. Mahadeva Shambho, Mahadeva Shambho, Mahadeva Shambho, Mahadeva Shambho. To those who know it, sing along with me. Shiva, 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 Shambho, Hara, 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 Shambho. Shumapati Mahadeva ki! Louder than that. Umapati Mahadeva ki! Now everybody one voice. Shiva, 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 Shambho, Hara, 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 Shambho. By yourself, sabko pyari. Shiva, Shiva. Narisha, I wonder if one of the box blow in the back there. See if the volume working on it there. Everybody a little more volume. Gajanana Swami ki! Are you lucky to be here tonight? Do you feel blessed to be here tonight? Anybody hungry? One voice, all together. Shiva, Shiva, Shiva. Hara, 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 Shambho. एक बार और. Shiva, 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 Shambho, Hara, 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 Shambho. Shiva, 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 Shambho, Hara, 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 Shambho. Shiva, 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 Shambho. Forget the whole world. Who cares about the world at this time when God's energy is prevalent and powerful? Sit upright. Feel the energy lifting from your back and from within. Feel the energies as your chakras will open. Feel the energy as Mahadev will shine the light of the third eye into your life and give you the spiritual awakening that you're needing. Bhagwan Shankar will transform your life from everything that is negative into something that is positive because He is the transformer. He is the one who can create the spiritual armor and the protection from all impurities of the world. He is Mahadev and He is Shambhu. Shiva, 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 Shambhu, Hara, 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 Shambho. Shiva, 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 Shambho. Hara, 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 Shambho. Hare Bam Bola. Java. Maha Shambhu, Mahadeva Shambhu, Mahadeva Shambhu, Mahadeva Shambhu. बोलिए सबको शिव शिव. क्या बात, क्या हो रहा है? हर 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 शम. एक बार और बोलो. शिव 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 शंभु, हर हर हर. ओम हर 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 महादेव. ओम हर 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 महादेव. क्या बात. It is said Lord Shiva sits in the mountains and he looks down at the bottom of the mountain and he sees the gods are climbing this parvat to reach up to him. While they're climbing, Lord Shiva will test you on the path of spirituality. Anybody who wants to live a good life, Lord Shiva will test you. Anybody who wants to be spiritual, Lord Shiva will try to break your confidence. Lord Shiva will try to belittle you. Lord Shiva will bring the people around you to throw you down. So when people come and giving you a hard time, don't just get upset. Say, Lord, you know what? Maybe you're testing me. Let it slide. Take the lesson and move forward. Lord Shiva decides to change his form and he goes down to halfway now in between the parvat, the mountain, and he waits for them. But he turns into a yaksha. Not a rakshasa, but a yaksha, which is a guardian, as we say, devata of the skies. And he decides now to lie down on the pathway and to block now these gods who are climbing up. So unconcerned, he's just lying down there. And the gods are coming up now. And they see this person lying down in front of the path. Lord Indra walks up to him and he says, hey, jao yahan se, go from here. We're walking up to see Lord Shiva. Whoever you may be, leave now. And Lord Shiva, while lying down there in the form of a yaksha, he looked at now this Lord Indra and he turned back and he did as though he was trying to sleep. You know, similar incident took place in Ramkshetramanas. And according to Mahabharata, it is said one day when Bajrangabali, when he became tired of the world, the age of Treta Yuga and Lord Ram had gone. He was bored, he was tired, he was confused, and he left one day and he just wanted to lie down. Do you have your days that you feel lazy? Yeah. We have our days when we are active and we are vigilant and we are moving. And we have the days when all the work in front of us, when we say, you know what, I just don't want to work today. Mahavir Swami, he didn't want to do anything. So he lay down on the path on a parvat. And alongside now, there was one bhakta who was coming. His name was Bhim. And Bhim was passing by. And Bhim saw an old monkey lying on a path. And Bhim says, hey, Bandar, jao. Bandar means monkey. Monkey, leave, go from here. And Hanuman Baba, he was hungry. He woke up, he turned around, he saw a banana. He took the banana, he peeled it. He looked at Bhim and he ate in front of him. Have you ever tried to speak to somebody and maybe they're eating or maybe they're doing something and they're looking in your face and they just have no time with you? Have you ever tried to speak to someone, convince somebody, you're calling somebody, come here, it's not, they're looking at you like this. Okay. Unconcerned in the world. Mahavir Swami took his banana and he was eating. And Bhim says, hey, Bandar, leave. And he's just peeling his banana, unconcerned. And he ate one. And Bhim says, you know who I am? I am Bhim, I can destroy you. And he looked at Bhim in the eyes. And he took another banana and he peeled it and unconcerned. That was it. Until Bhim says, you know what, I will move you from here. You know what, I will teach you a lesson. And Bhim walked up to this old Bandar. He was white in color. Hanuman Baba has many forms and many colors. And he was white in color. And Bhim walked up to him and he grabbed him by the tail and he was about to pull. And when he tried to pull as much as he would pull with all his might, he couldn't even shake Bajrangabali until he had to realize this is no ordinary monkey. This has to be somebody else. He is not a usual monkey of the forest. And he stopped to say, Hare, Bandar, naam kya hai? Who are you? And Bajrangabali turned his form and he says, who am I? Jai Shri Ram! I am the Bhakt of my Lord. I am Lord Hanumanji. Today in Kailash Parvat, Lord Shiva lies there. Lord Indra is walking up. And while Lord Indra reaches him, he says, hey, if you don't move from here, I will have to move you myself. And at that point, Lord Shiva, he pulls out a doob grass. We ask why we use doob grass in prayers. Doob grass has so much of power. Do you know how many people don't know that if you're having internal problems, you could take doob grass and blend it up and drink it? Do you know if you're having stomach disorders, you could blend doob grass and drink it? Do you know if you're having skin problems, you could mix doob grass with turmeric? You could mix the doob grass with haldi, you could blend it together, you could put it on your skin. To those who have fungus growing on the feet, growing on the hands, to those who are having face problems, do you know that you could blend everything and just paste it on and leave it there? That is a free face mask. You don't have to pay for that. And when you're done, the old skin peels off and the new one starts to show. The skin repairs itself. Today, doob grass. He pulls a doob grass and he lifts it in the air and he says, Indra Dev, if you want me to move, then move this from my hand and you can move. Lord Indra look around all the gods and he said, look at he's so foolish. He looking at me, God of thunder, God of rain, and he telling me move a blade of grass. When I rain down, all the mountains will fall apart, all the trees will fall apart. And he's telling me to move this blade of grass, and he laughs. Who also held a blade of grass? It was Sundar Khan of Ramayana. It was Ravana who kept walking towards the Ashoka Vatika. And he walked up to Sita Devi and he took out his sword and he lifted it in the air. And he says, Sita Devi, if you don't look at me, I will behead you now, right now. And you know what she did? A blade of doob grass, she pulled it out from the ground. And she lifted it in the air and she says, Ravana, if you think your sword is greater than my blade of grass, filled with power from Shri Ram, then hit my blade of grass with your sword. That's when she said to him, when you live by the sword, you will die by the sword. When we live with our bad traits, we will die by it. When we harm others, we will die by being harmed. What goes around will come back directly to us. Today, when she lifted it in the air, she says, Ravana, like Lord Shiva, Trinidad, kahata vai dehi sumiri avara pati parama sarehi Shri Rama Jaya Rama Shri Rama Jaya Rama Jaya Jaya Rama Shri Rama Jaya Rama Jaya Jaya Everybody follow. Everybody, Shri Ram Jai Ram, Shri Ram Jai Rama, Jaya Jaya Rama. go. Shri Rama Jai Rama Jaya Jaya Rama. Shri Rama Jaya Rama Jaya Jaya Rama. Shri Rama Jaya Rama Jaya Jaya Rama. One voice, boli. Shri Rama Jaya Rama Jaya Jaya Rama. Shri Rama Jaya Rama Jaya Jaya Rama. Jaya Jaya Rama Jaya Jaya Rama. Shri Gajanana Swami ki. Tonight, devotees, Lord Shiva lay there. He lifted a blade of grass, doob grass, and he says to all the gods, who could knock down this blade of grass for me? Go right ahead, you pass. But if you can't, you've failed. Lord Indra, he took out his thunderbolt. He took out his Vajra. And he decided to lift it in the air, and he was about to pelt it into the hand of Lord Shiva, not knowing that this is Mahadev. Now when he lifted it in the air and he struck at the hands of Lord Shiva, it is said the thunderbolt simply hit at the hand of the Lord like fireworks, like a spark, and it just disappeared. Lord Indra couldn't understand, because my thunderbolt is powerful. He took another one and he took a second thunderbolt and he lifted it in the air and he closed his eyes and he said a prayer and he hit it again. Nothing happened. It is said Pavandev, the god of the winds, he decided to blow his wind as fast as he could. He says, I can move mountains and valleys and streams and I can destroy anything. I will blow everything out of the hand of this person who's lying there. And even he tried, and no matter how much he tried, nobody could touch the feet of Mahadev, because he is Lord Shiva. He took that blade of grass, and at that point, he held it in his hand. And he says, today, every one of you have tried. And because you've tried, I will give in. But first of all, I will give you one more try. And he's still looking like this yaksha. And in the form of a yaksha, this is what happens now. The fire god, Agni, he comes and he says, you know something? Anything passed through fire will turn to ashes. If I burn this blade of grass, and even if I burn this personality, I will burn him to ashes. And with an egoistic mind, with the intention to destroy this person, but not the blade of grass intentionally, but the person who's holding that blade of grass. Lord Shiva sees ego in his mind. Sometimes people will come in our lives and they may have a motive to get something from us or to try to do us something, but it won't just be to harm us, it will be to just destroy us. Sometimes people's mind will be so negative that even if they come up to us to say something bad, their intentions are not just to hurt you, but to destroy you, to destroy your emotion, to destroy your home, to destroy your family. And Agni Dev, as the god of fire, is about to burn the hand of Lord Shiva. And Lord Shiva says today, I will teach him a lesson. What does he do? Lord Shiva holds it in his hand and the fire starts to blaze. And while the fire starts to blaze, the grass starts to become burned slightly. But the hand of the Lord is about to be burned. And when the Lord feels heat on his hands, Ardhanishwar, half Shiva, half Shakti, starts to wake up. Because Shakti is energy, Shakti is heat, Shakti is fire. Shakti and Adi Shakti, Devi Mata, is the energy of the cosmos, the warmth of the universe. And today, when the fire struck the hands of the Lord, it is said, Devi Mata, she started to now awaken her energy within Lord Shiva until the heat started to blaze so much within him, it started to shoot up the chakras. And while lining up from the chakras coming above, there was only one way to exit. And where was that? The third eye of Lord Shiva. It is said a heat and a fire started to shoot from the eyes of Mahadev. If the Lord were to look at the earth, he could burn the entire earth. But instead, he turned away and he allowed the fire to hit into the waters of the ocean. And when the fire was sent into the ocean, with the combination of the fire of the third eye and the combination of the water of the ocean, it is said immediately, like a spark and like an explosion, deep within the waters, coming from the earth, The birth of a child mixed with fire and water is about to take birth. Shri Vrindavan mein Hari Lal ki Jai! From the third eye of Lord Shiva and from Varun Devata, water, that combination of a child is about to take birth. But Lord Shiva's energy is angry. So what will take birth? Nothing good. When you're angry, does anything good come out of it? Nothing good. They always say when you have a prayer and a puja and you wake up in the morning, the first thing you always make is what? The parsad. Why? Because your mind will be at ease. Your mind will be relaxed. Your mind will be peaceful. The energy you have in yourself is what you will put into the food. Have you ever heard that when you're cooking food for people, you mustn't be angry? Imagine somebody turning a pot. Imagine when you don't eat that, now you're eating that. So. The energy that is put into the food is the energy that you will get. When people prepare food, food must always be clean. Mahabharata Anushasan Parava once more mentioned recently in a yajna I was mentioning. Whenever you're eating food, food must have good energy, good vibes. No disrespect to the world, but it is said when you eat fast food, you move too fast. Before you know it, your life runs out. When you eat food that is prepared with love, energy is put into it. In today's world, I've seen many people eating food from any and any way. You know what I admired about the yajna? Everybody cooking whole day. I admired that everybody would have come together to cook. They say long ago when people had a problem, sometimes one brother have a little something with the other brother and he say, you know what, I really don't want to come in front of him because if I tell him, he go vex. So we have a little grudge, we have something going on. And the medium of doing puja and coming together and people coming together to cook and to celebrate and to decorate and everything was the medium of bringing the people together. Because if you're cooking in the kitchen and you don't like your brother for something and at some point you need the salt and he's standing by the salt, you have to now pull it in and say, just hand me the salt. And even if you start, the start is what you need. Because 2 minutes after, he might ask you how much and a conversation will start. Working together for yajna is not just the puja and the narration of the messages. Prayer is how you live your life. Devotion is how you live. A yajna is how you live your life and how you transform it in the end. The yajna is about an inner transformation, changing your values and your qualities and your character to be a better person. Not to come the yajna and say, well, it's gone real good. It is one to transform you into somebody that you've never felt, a divine personality. Today, friends, working together to create pure love for God. When you're cooking, you put good energy into the food. You smile and you feel a nice energy and you have freeness of mind and you feel contented and you feel a humility. And with that humbleness, the food will be the best thing in the world when you partake. Today, friends, in the message, it is said that while all the negative energies of Lord Shiva went into the ocean, the birth of a little child was about to be formed. And as the child simply turns into manifestation, the water simply come in and sweeps up that child into the hand. And as soon as the water sweeps up the child is heated. So Varun Devata, he pulls back his hand and he says, oh, this child is so hot. Somebody come, hold on to this child. And Brahmadev says, me, I am the creator. I will hold him. You ever try to help somebody and in turn what you try to do becomes the worst thing in the world? Lord Brahma comes down and he says, oh, nice little baby. And he comes down to hold the baby. The baby has been born out of the anger of Lord Shiva and out of the anger of the Devatas. He's not a divine child. He's a Rakshasa child. Because he's born out of anger. They say when you're about to bring a child in the world to all the mothers, for the whole 9 months, a little be relaxed, a little be calm, a little get vexed. That the time they get more vexed. They say be relaxed and be calm. Because whatever qualities you possess for 9 months, that's what the child coming out with. They say whatever you eat affects the body of the child. How you think affects the body of the child, the mind of the child. How you do whatever you do affects the child. Every part of your energy affects the child. Today in our message, the child has come with negative qualities. And Lord Brahma comes and says, give me the baby now. And he's about to hold the baby. Nice, nice. How do you hold a baby and what do you say? When you hold a baby, how you say? Nice popo. And even while saying nice popo, the baby looked at him as a baby And he says, oh, and he holds him by the neck and he starts to strangle him. You try to do good for people and they will strangle you. Be careful. You try to help people and they will strangle you. Be careful who you associate with. This child starts to strangle Brahmadev. And while he's strangling him, Brahmadev's eyes become filled with water. The eyes become filled with tears because he's been choked. And he can't breathe properly. And he looks at Mahadev and he's simply, somebody help. And when he looks at Mahadev at that point, Mahadev, he gets up. And he walks towards the child. And he holds on to the child and he drags and he pulls that child. For the first time in the life of that child, from the very beginning, that child feels fear within him. Fear from Mahadev. But he pulls back and he lets go. And then Lord Shiva says, let him live his life. Brahmadev, let us leave him. But before we leave him, let us give him his name. Let us sanction the name. And let us leave him in the world so that he can do the rest. But what name will we give him? He has come from water. He has come from the ocean, taken birth. And he has been the one who would create the tears and the water in the eyes of Lord Brahma. In turn, water is called Jal. Today we will call him Jalandhar. Jalandhar as a powerful demon, Rakshasa. He's been born from the anger of the Lord. And he will be the head of the Rakshasa clan one day. He goes back into the waters and his father will be the god of the ocean. It is said while Varun Devata will stand there, while the Lord of the ocean will stand there, Ganga Mata says, give him to me. He's born of water, give him to me. As a mother, I will take care of him. I will know how to growing up. I will allow him to be the king of all the demons. And today, as he's in the hands of the mother, water is very, very powerful. Water is an element. I will tell you tonight, water is a powerful thing. When you paint a house or you paint a room and you want to get the energy or you want to get now the fumes out of the room, what do you just do? What do you just do? Michael, you don't know how to paint anything or what? What do you do when you want to get the fumes out of the room? You take a bucket of water and you put it in the middle of the room and it pulls all the fumes. Now, if in your house you want to get rid of bad energy, what should you do? Don't pour a bucket, pour a barrel. Put a whole barrel of water. Sometimes you say in the house, everybody only fighting, everybody only bickering. What to do? Put a whole barrel. Let me tell you, not just us as Hindus believe in the strength and the power of water, but in many other religions in the world, while traveling, I've met Spanish people. I've met many other people of the world, even Chinese people. And you will always see that they always have water. When you go in the Chinese restaurant, what is the first thing you see many times? What do you see? Oh, let's go Chinese. Well, nothing. They always have an aquarium with a whole set of fish. When you go to the Spanish lands, like Dominican Republic and Puerto Rico and so on, they will always have a jar of water right by their door. Because as soon as you walk in the door or the doorway, if there's bad energy from you, from maybe somebody else or contamination, or maybe you're just negative as energy, as soon as you walk in, it will draw everything there. Have you ever fixed or prepared a nice aquarium in your home? And every time you come from work and you check at the aquarium, every week all the fish dying. Why? You say, Baba, I can't mind fish. Every time I put fish, they're dying. It doesn't necessarily mean you can't mind the fish. Sometimes maybe you're coming from your job. Maybe you have a business like this one. Maybe people are coming all the time. Maybe bad energy is always in your place. Maybe you have a little shop. Maybe you have a parlor. Maybe you have whatever business and you have probably an aquarium and every week fish dying. Maybe there's too much of bad energy. Everybody coming with some kind of energy in your place. Maybe you have it in your home and probably once a week or maybe every 2 weeks or once in a month, all the fish dying. Maybe where you're coming from, you're drawing too much bad energy in your house and the water is pulling it and the fish can't survive. The fish will die. Water is an element that is powerful. It is good to keep water in your house for balancing energy. It is good to keep water in your home to have a peaceful mind. Some people sit down to meditate and listen to water. If you hear the fall or the rippling of water, you feel nice and you feel calm. Water is powerful. Keep water next to you. When you're going to sleep at night, keep a jar of water by your head. If you're feeling that your body is really heavy and negative and you say, I don't know, I'm feeling confused. If you feel confused in your life, if you feel frustrated, if you feel depressed, if you feel lost, and sometimes people feel, I just want to end my life, put a little jar of water under your bed and sleep above it. It will draw depression. People in today's world, they're going through too much anxiety. People in today's world, we're going through too much of depression. People are having too much of fights in the world and we're becoming frustrated. Take a jar of water and put it under your bed before you sleep. And if the jar not enough, like I said before, put a whole barrel and sleep in it, man. Water is powerful. Today, when this child comes out of the water, mother holds him and she says, I will balance his energy. As long as he's here, I will balance it. And as Ganga Devi, listen beautifully. Hey Tripurari, हे गंगाधारी भोले शंकर भस्म रमा भक्त सहाय है कैलाश के वासी दिखा दो छवि अविनाशी ये तेरे भक्त विलासी अखिया दर्शन की प्यासी हे त्रिपुरारी हे गंगाधारी जो बोले बाबा को जाते मंदिर में उनका ध्यान लगा के पुष्प चढ़ाते भजना है गाते तेरी शंकर पुष्प चढ़ाते भजना है गाते तेरी शंकर सुन लो पुकार करो उद्धार है कैलाश की वासी It is said in our scripture that Lord Shiva, he sees the child but he allows him to be. And he goes back now to Kailash Parvat. And he says, only my true devotees will find me. And if they're not true, then I don't need to see them in front of me. Bhagwan Shiva will not tolerate the fake people like we mentioned last night. But those who are genuine, if you really want a blessing, if you really want guidance of our Lord, turn to Mahadev, he says, and he will guide you. This Rakshasa, it is said while he was given birth, he's growing up now. And he's traveling everywhere. And he's trying to conquer the world because he is a powerful demon and a powerful Rakshasa. It is said being a powerful Rakshasa, he was one who would go everywhere and try to conquer regions and to be the king of it all. And one day he sits on his throne and he heads all the heads of the Rakshasas and he feels proud of himself. And when he sits there, there's nobody who could stop him now. His name is Jalandhar. He has been born by the gods of the waters. And while he's there, nobody can stop him. Devi Sureshwari Bhagavate Gange Tribhuvan Tarini Tararatalange. Powerful energy of the Divine Mother, Shri Ganga Mata. It is said Ganga Devi, she held on to the child and she did everything in her power to grow him up to be the best. And while he's growing up to be the best, she will try to teach him to move away from negative people and negative energy. But it won't always happen. His inner nature, his swabhav is that of a Rakshasa. No matter how much he tries, like we say, there are some people, no matter how much you try to be nice to them, if their nature is bad, they will always dislike you. There are some people, no matter how much you try to make them happy, if their energy is always to be negative, they will always find a problem in something. There are some people whose energy will never change in the world. And if that happens, it means their swabhav, their inner born new duty, or their nature, or their character has become like that. Scripture today says, Jalandhar, He sits on his throne and he's overcoming everybody until one day he decides to go to Indraloka and he says, I will go to Indradev and destroy him too. I even want his region. I will go to the gods and I will destroy everybody. And the gods, they're seeing him coming and they don't know who to turn to. So they start going to Brahmadev because they remember Brahmadev was the one who was choked by him. They went to Brahmadev and they put their hands together and they say, Brahmadev, please, can you help us? Can you help us to rid ourselves from this demon person that is called Jalandhar? And Brahmadev says, I am sorry, but I cannot help you. He tried to strangle me as a baby. He's a big Rakshasa now. What will he do to me? No. I'm not going there. I think it's best you go by Lord Vishnu and try. And when all the gods come together, they're only thinking, listen, let us be selfless people, humble and simple, and Lord Vishnu will help us. You have to be humble and simple in order for the gods to be on your side. Nadiyan piya kabhi apna jal vriksha na kai. What kind of pal is that? That pal like a rotten boy. Nadiyan piya kabhi apna jal vriksha na kai. It says the trees will never eat its own fruit. You never see a mango fall and your branch come and grab it back like this. No. The tree gives fruit for people. You'll never see the river taking back its own water, but the river will be filled and people will come and take water. You'll always see the incense stick burning itself so that we could smell the fragrance. You will see the light or the day or the wick burning itself so we could see. In turn, the world is about giving back and not just taking. Not everything in life is about taking. Not everything in life is about money. Not everything in life is about fighting for land and property and a house. Not everything in life is about fighting to hoard and to hold on. Do you know how many people are hoarding and they're not letting go? Do you know how many people in their home right now, you go in their home, in their kitchen, and they have a cabinet and it's filled with glass, and if you want to drink something, they say, well, me have no glass. So what about that one on top there? No, you can't touch that one. Who are you saving it for? No, that one's special. And you can't move it from there. They're hoarding and they're holding on to things. What about your experience? You lose everything and you start all over and you now choose what you really want. Think about that. There are people with so much in the world and they're holding on and they won't even share for the world. God says when you have in abundance, you share with the people around you. You make people around you comfortable. You make people around you happy. God says and Bhagwan says in our life, when there are people who are deserving of something better and you can afford to assist, you assist and you help. Tonight, this home is giving back to the world. When you host a yajna, you give back the greatest gift, Maha Gyaan, scriptural reading. You give back the second greatest gift, Annadan, you feed people. You give people a peace of mind and comfort. One of the most powerful gifts that you can give. When you have something in abundance, give back to the world. Today, Bhaktas, in our Katha, Jalandhar is there. And while he's there, he doesn't know about giving back. He wants to take and take and take from everybody. And he will never give back. Your karma will only build if you start taking only. And at one point now, the gods have gone simply to Lord Vishnu. And they say, Vishnu Prabhu, please, we want help. Jalandhar is taking over the entire heavens and we want help. Can you please help us? And Lord Vishnu says, listen, I really can't help you. Why? But you are God of the skies. Why can't you help us? You are Maha Vishnu. How many family members protect their family members? And how many family members cut down their own family members? You see that word backbite? Hare Bhagwan. How many family members support? Do you know the song? Bhaiya mere राखी के बंधन तो निभाना भैया मेरे चौथी बहन को ना बुलाना. You know that song? When do you hear that song all the time? For what? Raksha Bandhan, Bhai Dooj. You know something? They went to Lord Vishnu. Prabhu Vishnu, I want you to destroy Jalandhar. He says, hey, I can't destroy Jalandhar. He is like a brother-in-law to me. A brother-in-law? What do you mean, brother-in-law? He has been born from the ocean. Well, do you remember who also came from the ocean? Who came from the ocean? My wife come from the ocean too. What do you mean? The churning of the ocean took place. And coming from the depths of the ocean was who? Jai Lakshmi Kalyani Maya. Jai Lakshmi Kalyani. Sabaye Sharanatihari Maya. Aaye Sharanatihari Maya. De darshan Maharani. De darshan Maharani. Jaya Lakshmi Kalyani Maya. Jai Lakshmi Kalyani. Jai Lakshmi Kalyani. My Dulahin came out of the water. When she came out, she said to me, when Jalandhar had taken birth from the waters, she says, I came from the water. He came from the water. He's like a brother to me. Prabhu Vishnu, I want you to give me a word that you will never kill him. He's my brother. Because we've come from the same place. Imagine they are not birth brother and sister. And she said, Lord Vishnu, promise me you will not kill my brother under no circumstances. Today we have birth brother and sister and birth brothers. And one brother saying, I'll go kill you. Today we have both brothers and sisters and they can't even coexist. What kind of world are we living in? Lord Vishnu says to the gods, I cannot kill Jalandhar. I cannot destroy him because he's like a brother-in-law to me. Today, how many brothers are protecting their brothers? Today, how many brothers are working together with their brothers? Today, how many brothers and sisters they coexist? Today, how many people are helping? Do you know when Brothers' Day come around? When Raksha Bandhan come around? There are about 8 different kathas that are linked with Raksha Bandhan. Raksha Bandhan Day is not just for your birth brother, you know that? Raksha Bandhan Day that comes around, it is a day where the thread is tied as a sacred bond. A wife ties it for the husband too. There are kathas that speak about it. It is said the children tie for the appearance as a protection. Raksha Bandhan is that bond of protection. But Bhai Dooj, the day after Diwali or 2 days after Diwali, that is what birth brother and sister. That is where it comes in. But Raksha Bandhan is the day where the tying of that sacred thread represents a bond. On that day, the godchildren tie for the Guru because the Guru protects them through prayer and worship and devotion. On that day, brothers can tie for brothers. Sisters can tie for sisters. Brothers and sisters can tie. Cousins, they come together and say, you know what, you're like a brother to me, I will tie for you too. Because Raksha Bandhan is the bond of the sacred thread on that day. But Bhai Dooj, 2 days after Diwali, it's Bhai, Bhaiya, it's only the birth brother and the sister. Today, friends, how many sisters are being protected by their brothers? And how many sisters are being cut down by their own brothers? Today, how many sisters hold the hand of their brother and their brother could say, hey, don't talk to my sister like that. And how many brothers today are the ones who are disrespecting their own sister? The world is different now. Life has become different now. People don't live up to standards anymore. The world is changing. Who will be your brother's keeper? We in Kali Yuga. You have to be scared if your brother says, I go protect you now because he self might cut you down. Today, when Lakshmi Mata has given the message to Lord Vishnu says, sorry, but I can't help you. And when he says this, listen beautifully. Jivane marane gate jugala kishore. Jivane marane gate Jugala Kishore. Radha Krishna Pranamo Jugala Kishore. Radha Krishna Pranamo Jugala Kishore Radha Krishna Pranamo Jugala Kishore Jivane Marane Gate Jugala Kishore Jivane Marane Gate Jugala Kishore Java Shamagari Anga Divo Janader Naganda Janagare Anga Divo Janader Naganda Samara Dulave Kare Samara Dulave Kave Tire Mukha Chanda Ivane Marane Gate Yugala Kishore Radha Krishna Pranamo Yugala Kishore Come on. Everybody go! Jai Radhe! Yugala Kishore Jivane Marane Gati It is said when Bhagavan Shri Krishna turned to the gods are saying, well, what to do now? We are lost, we are confused. Then who to turn to if Brahmadev can't help us? And then Mahavishnu, you can't help us? They begged and they begged. Vaishnava Janato Tini Kahije Pira Para Jani Re पर दुख के ऊपर कार करे तोरे पर दुख के ऊपर कार करे तोरे मन अभिमान ना जानी रे वैष्णव जन तो दीनी Lord Vishnu says, I'm sorry, but I cannot help you. There's only one person, but you need to turn to him with help, not by yourself. And at that point, help is about to come. Hari Narayan, Narayan. Who is coming to help? Who is coming to help? Pandit Narada Gosai. Hari Narayan, Narayan. The great sage of the skies, Narada Muni, is passing. And he's seeing the entire ordeal. And when he sees everything, he decides to descend and he goes now to all of them. And he says, Lord Indra, Varun Devata, Agni Dev, Guru Brihaspati, listen, you have to make sure that a war begins between Jalandhar and Lord Shiva. That's the only way you can destroy him. And Narada is giving the instructions. And they all turn to one another and they say, you know what? Yes, I believe so. I believe we need to turn to Mahadev. So while they're thinking of it, how do we allow it to happen? Narada Muni says, I will be the instrument. You know, Narada Muni in all the different scriptures, people always term him to be the little troublemaker. But I am no troublemaker. I can tell you that. Narada Muni was the instrument for bringing people together. But when people were scared to speak out, he was in between, making sure that what has to be heard will be heard. He went to Jalandhar. He says, I will help. He goes to Jalandhar and he says, Jalandhar, I am Narada Muni. Hari Narayan, Narayan. And he put his hands together. Jalandhar says, who? Narada who? He says, Narayan. करते हो तुम कन्हैया मेरा नाम हो रहा है करते हो तुम कन्हैया मेरा नाम हो रहा है मेरा आपकी कृपा से सब काम हो रहा है. I've come to tell you something. You see, you claim to be big and powerful, na? You claim to be a powerful person. Well, I'm only a little devotee of Kanhaiya. I'm only a devotee of Shri Krishna. And while I'm a devotee, I want to tell you something. While you're fighting for Indralok and you're fighting for this loka and you're fighting for all the loka, if I tell you something, and this is where the little kuchur come in now. He say, if I tell you something, you ever gone to Kailash Parvat? He say, if you go a day in Kailash Parvat, Lord Shiva in that beautiful mountain, he has a big palace. And that palace have all the nice things that you could ever think about. You think you want to just go to Indralok and all these, go to Kailash Parvat, you will find the best thing there. And if I tell you something, Lord Shiva have a nice wife. I'll hear a story. Lord Shiva have a nice wife. If you go to Kailash Parvat, you can take us your wife too. Narad Muni is telling. And he stops and he says, true? He have a nice wife? If I tell you how trouble easy to come in this place. And who does bring the trouble? Me. I'll tell you what is about to take place. Listen beautifully. करते हो तुम कन्हैया मेरा नाम हो रहा है करते हो तुम कन्हैया मेरा नाम हो रहा है मेरा आपकी कृपा से सब काम हो रहा है मेरा आपकी कृपा से सब काम हो रहा everybody बोलो राधे गोविंदा Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Shri Vrindavan mein Hari Lal ki. Jalandhar heard that Lord Shiva have a nice one. A nice one? Yeah. Anybody here have a nice wife? All right, take your time, babe. He hears that Lord Shiva have a nice wife. You see, this world is so messed up. Katha says today, Tata para bhavan chatur asunaram Vishnur surah saktaha Smarani paradvalam shir ksheram chatur dadam Pibhasha amritahari chahor deva sabhayam vai pripapakshi hari dada. He says that when Jalandhar heard that there was a beautiful wife, at that point, he remembered that he also had a wife. He was the king of this beautiful place where only Rakshasas will roam. But he was wed and he had a wife called Vrinda. And he thought about his wife at home. And while thinking about the wife at home, you know what he said? Nah, man, Lord Shiva have a nice wife. I could bring her here too. Scriptures today, they are narrating something. It says according to Maha Puran, according to Narada, it says that if there is one thing in common with all demons, as soon as lust passes around them, they will run after them. If there's one thing in common with all demons, all Rakshasas, they cannot control their emotions and contain themselves, but they will run after lust in the world. When one person has their consort, when they can live with unity and harmony, when people can live happy in a home and live happy in a marriage, why break it at that point? To many of the men in society today, when you are happy in your home, why go outside to break that? To many of the women in society, when you are happy in your home and maybe that husband is working hard to make sure you have everything, why break that by spoiling everything? But you know what? To the people who break a peace in a home and in that marriage and in that relationship, it says there's only one thing in common with all demons. They will run after lust. Imagine, like we always say, sometimes people sit down in a yajna and men sit down with their wife right there. Vice versa. And a young girl pass across. And them men, they so. Yeah, Mahadev. Jai Bhagwan. Jalandhar had his wife, but you know what? He wanted more. He wasn't contented. When you are happy in a home, appreciate your spouse. Maybe if you're not happy, maybe if you're not contented, maybe if you're having too much of arguments and quarrel and fights and there's so many things, like many people say, many gurus of India have said, instead of fighting in your home and somebody kill themselves, then speak about it, and if you have to part, then part peacefully. But don't live in a home with the one life that you have and live messed up for the end of it all. A message I want to tell all the young people today, and I've said it previously in one of my yajna. While we were traveling to Guyana, and there are many people in Guyana tuned in tonight, just to let you know. While traveling to Guyana, there are many people who have their young daughters. And at the age of 16 and 17, they tell them, here's what, make sure you get married before this year done. You get married. And the young daughters are thinking, but I want to get a job. I want to have a career. I want to become somebody big. I want to achieve something. And when daddy says, hey, listen, in 2 months, you better find somebody. Now that girl has to forget everything in her life. All her dreams have to disappear. And she has to listen. Some of us would have gone through the same thing. Probably we were rushed into our marriage. Probably we were rushed in a relationship. Probably we were rushed into something unknowingly and we were not sure as to what was happening then. And the older people say, stick it out, live there, you can't come back home, deal with it now. Sometimes the parents force them. The parents force their children to get into marriage. Nowadays, many mothers and fathers say, come now, get married now, I want to get grandchildren. And they're forcing them to get married. As soon as they start talking to somebody, marriage one time, and you force them because you want grandchildren. And you know what? 2 years down the road, if the husband coming home drunk and beating you, well, don't tell me that your husband. Nobody stands up for you now. People are going through that in today's world. Young people especially, young boys and young girls. Don't rush your life. Young girls, I have 3 goddaughters right here, and they're looking real nice. And all them boys all in the back there, so. All they watch me, don't watch they. They have to pass through the godfather first. Think about it. Young girls, make your career first. Make your life first. Think about your life and set down the foundation first. Don't mess it up. You have one chance. Live a good life. Do the best. Love your parents. Enjoy the home and the love of your home. Because one day when you walk out, you don't know where you're going to meet outside. Live a good life and only live the best so that you can achieve the best. Don't just jump into something. Don't be fooled by the young boys in society. Young boys today, don't be fooled by the young girls in society. Vice versa, the same thing. Long ago, a young boy used to run down a girl. Nowadays, the girls are running on the boys. Even the boys shy now. Things have become different. Ronaldo laugh. Things have become different now. Young people, set your foundation in life first and then think about everything else. Because when you rush into it, you mess it up. You can say how much you want when you're young. I'm ready, yes, yes. This is a different day and age and time. The world is different now. Parents now, they speak to their children. A child 5 years old now is so smart, smarter than we. The old people have to say, teach me how to use the phone now. The little 5-year-old come and come. Let me show you. This is YouTube. And when you go on Facebook, look for Pandit Narada Gosai and press the like button. And when you go to YouTube, subscribe to Pandit Narada Gosai. A 5-year-old could tell you that. Imagine that. And at 5 years, they're so smart. Don't rush away their life. Give them a chance to learn. Excel mentally, become strong mentally, emotionally. So the day they get into a relationship and a marriage, they can say, you know what? Yes, I'm ready for this. Don't rush off your young ones. It's happening too often. Today, Bhaktas, Jalandhar as a demon person, he hears of the wife of Lord Shiva and he says, you know what? One is not enough. I want more. And he wants to go for more. And he wants to go for Parvati Mata. And while he's about to make up his mind to go for Parvati Devi, he's underestimating the power of Shankar. He's underestimating the power of Mahadev. Because nobody knows the energy of that divine Lord. He decides now to go to Kailash Parvat. And when he goes there, he sneaks away and he goes into the Parvat. And he goes into the chambers of Parvati Devi and he turns into a different form. He tries to look like Lord Shiva and he changes his form. Last night we spoke about the people who change their form around you. He changed his form to deceive the mother and he walked into the room and he saw Parvati Devi Mata combing her hair and he says, wow, kya baat hai. He sees her beauty and he sees her form and he wants to walk up to her and he wants to hold her hand because lust is there. And as he's about to walk up to her, he couldn't contain himself because there's too much emotions. He couldn't keep that form that he had. He started to change back now to Jalandhar. And as soon as Parvati Mata saw a demon form, she says, hey, jao yahan se, Mahadev. And she calls out to Lord Shiva. And Shankar Bholenath, listen my dear friends. Shankaram, Shankaram. Vanchitamaram Bhajatavaravaram. I've always said this. If you want to see the other side of a man interfere with his wife and you go see trouble. Narine, I true? Jai Bhagwan. Shankaram, Shankaram Vanchitamaram Bhajatavaravaram. Shankaram, Shankaram Vanchitamaram Shekalam, Shekalam, Kanditakalam, Namata kamadam kamadam. Kamadam Ritamadanamadam Kalika Pramadam Sachidanandam Kalika Pramadam Sachidanandam Shankaram Shankaram Vanditamaram Bhajatavaravar Shankaram Shankaram Vanditamaram Bhajatavaravar Shekaram Shekaram Vanditakaram Namadavaram Om Hara 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 Mahadev. Om Hara 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 Mahadev. Om Hara 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 Mahadev. Shri Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki Jai. Devotees of God, it is said in our beautiful message, Parvati Mata saw a demon in her room and she called out, Mahadev! And at that point, Lord Shiva heard. But when he heard, he thought to himself, I wonder if I heard right. Parvati Mata, realizing that nobody was coming, she left at that point and she decided now, with her divine strength of Adi Shakti, she disappeared from where she was. And it is said she went into the abode of Bhagwan Shri Vishnu. She says, Prabhu Vishnu, I wanted to destroy this demon. And Lord Vishnu says, no, I can't destroy him. He's like a brother-in-law to me. I gave a promise, I can't destroy him. She says, well, you are the Lord of Maya. Isn't he the Lord of Maya? Maya tu bhagani ham jani. Maya tu bhagani ham jani. Vishnu ke Lakshmi bhanavati. Raja ke hai dharti rani. Vishnu ke Lakshmi bhanavati. Raja ke hai dharti rani. Lord, aren't you the Lord of Maya? What can you do for me? And Lord Vishnu says, okay, I will protect you. Listen, he tried to look like Lord Shiva in order to distract you. I will try to look now like somebody like he knows. I will go to his family now. He wants to come to your family. I will go to his family. And I will go to where his Dullahin is. Because you see, when a woman prays, she protects her husband and her family. And if you want your Lord to destroy him, well, then I have to distract him. And just like he turned into Lord Shiva, I will turn into him. And I will go in his home and I will destroy him. Listen what is happening now. Concentrate well. It is said today that Lord Vishnu takes a form and he looks just like Jalandhar. And he goes to Vrinda, who is the wife of Jalandhar. Where is she? You know where is she? She was walking through the forest at that point. She was praying for her husband to be protected wherever he was. And where was he? Where was he? Looking for our next one? Our next wife. Some of us have our nice family home. Some of us have our wives who are praying for us to live a long life. And outside there, Jai Narayan. But there are two sides of the story, eh? There's some who have a wife praying, my husband live long and come home. And there's some of us who have a wife praying, I hope he dead on the road. Yeah, two sides of the story. In this case, Vrinda is praying for her husband. And she's walking through the forest. And while she's walking, she sees two monkeys playing. And while the two monkeys are playing, she looks at them and she sees them playing and dancing about as though they are fighting and they're playing. And while she sees them in this manner, she stops to admire them. But she's confused. She remembered something. She had a dream the night before. And she was dreaming now that her husband was sitting on the black buffalo. Dreams have meanings, right? She dreamt her husband was sitting on a black buffalo and he was heading south. If you dream that, what it mean? If you dream that, what to do? Wake up. If you're dreaming bad thing, wake up. Don't continue that dream. She dreamt him like that. You know, thank God my mother not here tonight. My mother dreamt something a few days ago. And I wake up to go radio. And I went and I said, Ma, I'm going in the radio. And she's sleeping. And she's concentrating because the eyes are pressed. You know, sometimes when people sleeping, their mouth is make all kind of thing. Their eyes make all kind of thing. So the eyes are like this. And I said, Ma, I'm going in the radio. She said, wait. I said, Ma, I'm going in the radio. And she's sleeping, but she's saying, wait. I said, Ma, I have to go in the radio now. I will see you. I have to get up and go now. She said, wait, something fall off from the cupboard. And she said, Ma, I'm going in the radio. And she opened. Oh God, let me see what fall from the cupboard now. I said, Ma, go back and sleep. Go and find out. Dreams are interpretations of things. Some people dream good things and we call upon it and say, I dream something. Tell me, what it mean? Some people dream bad things and we wonder, what does it mean? Dreams are part of our inner consciousness, that divine being within, that sub or the super consciousness from deep down inside that's manifesting things that are happening in the outer part of the world. And when things are about to happen, if you're deep and a spiritual person, you tap into spiritual energy and you can now recollect things that may be happening or about to happen too, according to how spiritual you are. At that point, she had a dream the night before. Her husband was in a black Vahana and he was heading south and her mind was troubled about it. And while she's thinking about the dream, in turn, she saw Rahu coming and taking her husband away. And she thought for a second, do you all know who Rahu is? How many people know who Rahu is? Who's Rahu? Who's Rahu? Rahu is a graha. How did Rahu come into existence? Let me tell you in a nutshell. When the ocean was being churned and the nectar came out of the ocean, the nectar was no ordinary nectar. It was immortality nectar. If anybody drank of that nectar, they will live for immortality and live forever. When that jar of immortality nectar came out, this was after Mother Lakshmi came out and so on. It is said one of the Rakshasas saw it fit to grab this pot and start to run with it. And when he started to run with that jar of nectar, while running, all the gods started to run him down. All the demons started to run him down because anybody who drinks of that, they will live forever. And while running, he's about to dip and he's about to drink of it so that he will become immortal. And Lord Vishnu decided now to behead him. And when Lord Vishnu beheaded him at that point, some of the nectar was now rolling down his throat. And without a head now, the head fell apart, but there was nectar in the mouth, so the head remained immortal. And the body had some going on there, and the body became immortal. So there's a head and there's a body, and it's alive. Because there's immortality nectar in the throat and in the body. And then we have received Rahu and Ketu at that point. But Ketu has a body, so even he can fill the body with food and sustenance. But Rahu, he's always hungry. And every time he wants to eat, he doesn't have a body. So it will just go through the mouth and come out the other side. And every time he feels hungry, he looks up at the sun. Or he looks up at the moon, at a nice bright moon and a bright sun. He says, I'm hungry. And he will go to try to eat it. And that day he asks Lord Vishnu, please, if I see the sun looking bright, I could eat it. Lord Vishnu says, go ahead. Prabhu Vishnu, if I see the moon big and nice, could I eat it? Go ahead. Because Lord Vishnu knows that when he bites at the sun, it will go through his mouth and it will come out the other side. He can't eat it. If he bites at the moon, it goes through his mouth and it comes at the other side. He can't eat it. And when Rahu is about to partake or eat the sun or eat the moon, what do we see? We see an eclipse. You know why? Because Rahu is putting the sun. We see solar eclipse and it's coming out on the other side. When there's a solar eclipse or there's a lunar eclipse, Rahu is eating the sun or he's eating the moon, and it will pass through his mouth and come out on the other side. At that point, people who are having Rahu Graha will become agitated. You will have health problems. You'll have stomach disorders. You'll be arguing back and forth in your home. You'll be agitated because Rahu is in the air. And when he's trying to eat the sun means eyes and energy. You will find people are feeling drained. They're having eye pain. They're having problems because Rahu will bring a loss of that. When he's about to eat the moon, you know, long time they used to say, boy, what me? You're walking by the moon over. What I mean? That means you're moody. It says when you're going through the influence of the moon, you become moody. Anybody here moody? It means that the moon is taking a part of giving inflictions on your life. When that happens, and Rahu and the moon comes together because he's trying to eat the moon, people are in chaos. When the eclipse is taking place, we also tell people who are having a child what to do. Start walking up and down. Don't let that Rahu get you, or the moon or the sun. Start walking up and down. Today, the wife Vrinda, she's seeing Rahu. And Rahu is about to bite at her husband in a dream. And she remembered that, and she's walking in the forest. And while walking, she sees now, beautifully, she sees the two monkeys. And she's trying to understand. And when she sees the monkeys, all of a sudden the monkeys become fierce and they start to fight. And as soon as they start fighting, she becomes scared. And when she becomes scared, Lord Vishnu in the form of Jalandhar, he walks up to her. He says, are you scared? And he goes up to her and he puts his hand around her. Because he wants to break her chastity. And if he breaks her love for her Lord in the form of Jalandhar, the real Jalandhar, if that dedication is broken, he will be defeated in a war. So Lord Vishnu tries to go and break her mind. And when he walks up to her and he tries to break her mind, he puts his hand around her as to contain her. And she feels at peace and at ease. And she turns around and she says, thank you, my husband, for being here today to protect me in this time of need. Thank you for protecting me. And at that point, it is said, Lord Vishnu in the form of Jalandhar, he is about to prostrate to say, sure, no problem. But as soon as he put his hands and the energy touches together, he turns back into Vishnu Bhagavan. And when she sees it, she says, wait, you're not my husband. You have come to deceive me today. Have you come to kidnap me today from in front of this forest and from everybody? Did you think that you will come in front of the monkeys and pull me away and take me away? Listen today, I'll tell you something. She says, Yau tyaya maya kautuk hai, swauko daushit taiva raksha ho, stutva bharya tagahri, tana chapi bharyaduko. She said, I'll tell you something today. You are Mahavishnu and you come now to take me away as though I am yours. One day I will shrap you from now onwards. One day from now, you will come in the world and you will look like a good being, but somebody will take your wife from you. And when they take your wife from you, you will roam the forest and you will roam the earth to find her. And the same monkeys will have to help you to bring her back. Who will you be? Shri Rama Jai Rama Jai Jai Rama. Shri Rama Jai Rama Jaya Jaya Ram. She says, today I will shrap you. And you think you could take me away? Your wife will be stolen from you. Your wife will be kidnapped. And you will go back on the earth. And same monkey that you think you want to pull me away, monkeys will have to help you. The forest animals will have to help you. And after a long battle, you will get back your wife. And who will that be? He stopped and he begged, please, please, no, don't curse me. Your husband is not doing well. He's trying to attract Parvati Mata. Please see the good in it. But she's too angry to listen. And Lord Vishnu puts his hands together and he says, look at this. When you try to help a situation, look at what happens. When you try to help people, you become the bad one in the end. Shri Rama Jai Rama Jaya Jaya Rama. Shri Rama Jaya Rama Jaya Jaya Ram. Jai Rama, Jai Jai Rama, Shri Rama Jai Rama, Jaya Jaya Rama. He goes on his knees and he begs. He says, please don't break up my home like this. Please don't let me lose my loved one like this. And she says, to every action, there's a reaction. Shri Rama Jai Rama, Jaya Jaya Rama, Shri Rama Jai Rama, Jaya Jaya Rama. It is sad. There was no option now. Lord Vishnu put his hands together and he says, okay, Maya, maaf kijiye, forgive me. He got up and he left. And in his mind now, he starts to devise a plan. He has to create a plan because one day he has to lose his wife to adoption. One day somebody will have to steal his wife. And he goes back to his abode and he sat down. And Lakshmi Maya says, Arey Prabhu, kya hua? Why are you looking so dull? Why are you looking so down? He says, Devi, my karma has befallen me. Now both of us will have to pay. So let's come up with a plan. Because we will have to go down on the earth one day. And while on the earth, we will have to show the world the power of karma. And in turn, you will have to be taken away from me. I will be called Sri Ram. And you will be called Sita Ma. But because I was trying to help Parvati Devi, don't worry. There are supposed to be some monkeys. I will talk to Mahadev. And maybe he will put me to the right one. And I will meet the right one. And who will he be? Om Shri Hanumate Namaha. Pavan Sutta Hanuman ki. Jaya Jaya Rama, Shri Ram Jaya Rama, Jaya Jaya Rama. Be careful how you act in the world. Your karma will come back to hit you. Be careful what you do. Like I say, you'll try to help people and you go get a kick in the end. Be careful how you try to help people do something. Be careful what you say to people because you could say a good word and by the time the story come back, you was the bad one. Be careful what you do in today's society. People will brand you. They will underestimate you and they will push you down. Be careful with the world we live in today. It is a dangerous one. Pray and be full of faith. That day Lord Vishnu left. He says, Parvati Maya, I can't help you. Only your Lord could help now. Tell Mahadev, go and he must fight Jalandhar. And Mahadev, while sitting by himself in Kailash Parvat, Devi Mata goes and she says to the Lord, Prabhu, I will tell you the ordeal. I put my hands together and I will tell you. And she tells him the entire scenario. And when she was finished speaking to him, he says, really? So somebody tried to come in my home to break up my family? And immediately his pressure starts to raise. He is Mahadev. When he becomes angry, he stamps on the earth. And when he stamps, it is said like the Tandava Stotra, he will dance with anger and a rage. And at that point, Mahadev says, I will go down and I will find Jalandhar. And while going down to the ocean, one day I put a stop to him. And today I will stop him once and for all. He went down to the earth, and when he went there, he saw Jalandhar standing by the ocean. And he says, Jalandhar, you think you're powerful? He takes his big toe and he starts to swirl the ocean with the big toe. And when the ocean starts to swirl, it is said now, the formation of one of the powerful weapons of the world were about to be formed. Varun Devata, the god of water, is holding up now the churning, and the water is swirling everywhere. And while he's holding on to it, at that point, it is said, Prabhu Shankar, he swirls and the weapon is forming powerfully. And there with his toe, he lifts it in the air. And as soon as it goes into the air, Mahadev takes his Trishul and he hits at it. And it swirls around and it comes back right back to the head of Jalandhar. And it beheads Jalandhar immediately. But while it's swirling in the air, he says, Varuna, I want you to control this now. He says, Varuna, take this and give it to the person who will be able to control it. And who was that person? He looks up in the skies. He says, my friend Mitra, Bhagwan Vishnu. He says, you will be the one to use this. Come down to the earth. And from the skies now, it is said, coming down to the earth. At that point, Bhagwan Shri Vishnu, he comes down to receive his divine weapon. And the weapon will be the one that he will use in Mahabharata. The weapon will be the same one that he will use in all the wars and all the fight. And it will be none other than the Sudarshan Chakra. Like yesterday, it came from the hands of Varun Dev and it was placed onto the finger of Bhagwan Shri Krishna. As he held it in his hand, Jalandhar lies on the ground and Mahadev says, Har Har Mahadev! Har Har Mahadev! Har Har Mahadev! He says, never let the world pass the eyes when it comes to Lord Shiva, because I will only wake up when I am angry. Prem Susmapati Mahadeva ki Jai. Shankara Shiva, Shankara Shiva. Do you have things in your life that you want to be destroyed? Not your house and thing, eh? Do you have negative emotions or feelings that you want to be destroyed? Do you have frustration in your life that you're so confused about and you want it to be destroyed? Do you have situations in your home where you're not sure about, you're confused and you want them to be destroyed? Do you have a problem in your job that you're frustrated about and you want it to disappear? Well, he is the destroyer. Everybody, Shankara Shiva, Shankara Shiva, Shambho Mahadeva. Now I know you know this mantra. Nagendra Haraya Trilochanaya Bhasmangaragaya Maheshwaraya Nityaya Shuddhaya Digambaraya Tasmai Nakaraya Namah Shivaya Om Namah Shivaya Om Namah Shivaya Om Namah Shivrindavan Bihari Lal ki Jai. Lord Shiva peacefully goes and he sits back down. And when he sits in peace now in Kailash Parvat, Devi says, you think you are alone powerful, Mahadev? I went to Lord Vishnu so I could get help because I don't want to become too emotional in this. But let me tell you, I am powerful too because I am Adi Shakti. But you know what? Today is Guru Vardi and today is for Lord Shiva. But tomorrow, it's for Adi Shakti. And tomorrow we will see the strength of the Shakti of Parvati Mata. Prem Suchika Swami ki Jai. With this, my friends, we end our beautiful message tonight. And as we end our message, this is where we stand as we join in final arti. Brahma, Vishnu, Sada Shiva, Arrange Nara. Brahma, Vishnu, Sada Shiva, Ardange Nara. Jai Shiva Kara, Har Shiva Kara. Jai Shiva Kara, Baba, Har Shiva Kara. Jai Shiva Kara, Baba, Har Shiva Kara. Har Baba Ekanana, Ekanana, Chaturana, Panchana Raji. Swaminatha Sachidananda Jai Gurunatha Sachidananda Swaminatha Sachidananda Jai Gurunatha Sachidananda
Lord Shiva, you are the Almighty. Lord Shiva, you are my Prabhuji. You are my Shiva. You are my Shiva. Shiva, you are the Almighty. Lord Shiva, you are my Prabhu. You are my Shiva. You are my Shiva. You are my Shiva. Om Shanti Shanti Hari Om. प्रेम से समापति महादेव की, कैलाशपति शिव शंकर भगवान की, सत्य सनातन धर्म की जय.
Jai Jai Sitaram. Asan लीजिए. Let us all take our seats. As we have taken our seats at this time, as we do conclude our beautiful night, once more we'd like to especially thank Vandana Tulsi for the beautiful bhajans earlier, and also I'm sure you'll give us another rendition as we conclude. And to all those who have come tonight, on behalf of this wonderful family, we say once more special thank you to each and every one. Dhanyabad. Until tomorrow night, please do partake of your arti, prasad. Meals are being prepared for each and every one, so please do partake. And until we see tomorrow, Bhagwan's blessings. Om Namaha Shivaya.